Hey you guys, hey Christopher, Dominic, and Khalil. I am glad you guys are so interested in what we're doing. So I want to give you a quick lesson. I want to try to give you a lesson each day this week. See if you guys can complete it. So the first thing we're going to do, you guys are going to go to my website, 235glenmountweevery.com. You are going to go over here to the More button, and you're going to go down to Building Team, and that's how you guys are going to join the class. Okay, you're gonna put your nickname in there. Once you do it once or twice, it's going to come up automatically. And then you're going to be at your Tinkercad dashboard. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to create a new design. You're going to click on that and you're going to get this window pop up. And we're always going to do this first off. We're going to go down here to where it says Edit Grid. I'm going to click on that and we're going to change it from metric to standard. So we're going to change it from millimeters to inches. You're going to update grid. Now each one of these squares is going to be an inch. So we're also going to go up here and we're going to change the name of your project. So go up here, you're going to click on that, and let's call this one June 1st, because this will be our first assignment. Okay. Um, so here are some of your building tools, your basic shapes. So what we're going to do, we're simply going to make a couple shapes. So we're going to pull a box out, and now it's a cube. Now you guys know from math class that a cube is uh, equal sides and then equal height. It makes like a dice. So what we're going to do, we're going to change the size. I'm going to position it over on this side of the grid, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to change this side first. And oops, I click on it, and then I click on the numbers, and I'm going to change it to 2, which is 2 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to change this to 2 also. That makes it 2 by 2, and then we're going to change the height to 2. Okay, so once you touch it, do that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put a hole right through the center of this. So I'm going to pull these shapes over here are for when you want to make a hole. I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to put it right there next to the shape. And I'm going to make it tall. Since the hole is going to be deeper, it's going to go all the way through the item. I'm going to click on it, and let's make it just a little bit taller than 2 inches. So let's make it 2.25. And for you smarty pants, you know that's 2.25 inches. Now I'm going to drag that over here. And if you look at it, and you can spin this so you can look at the shapes, look at the different views. We can go to the side view, or we just go from the 3D view. I want to get it all the way around to where we started. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to click and drag over both the shapes. And up here, and I'm going to make sure, I'm going to click on that. It's a line button. Now if you see here, we'll have 2 shapes. So we want it the center. We want it to be center. So we're going to click on that center. And then if you go to the top, now you look at it, it's right in the center of the shape. And then once we have that all complete, we're going to go up here where it says grouped. And then we're going to group it. And now you can see your hole. If you go to your top view, you can see all the way through your hole. Okay, so I didn't change the size of the dimensions, so yours, it should be 2 by 2 by 2, and your dimension of your hole is a 1-inch hole. I just pulled that out. I'm going to get rid of it by clicking on it and hitting delete. Okay, so next we are going to try to do a pyramid. So I'm going to go down here to a pyramid. I'm going to place it over here. And let's make this a different shape, different size. So let's make it 1.5. So 1.5. I'm going to change this side to 1.5 because we want it to be a square pyramid. And then we're going to, I don't know, how would you think? Let's make it 1.5. Sometimes this thing gets in the way, so I'm just going to pull it over here while I work. When I click on this, I'm going to make that 1.5. Okay, and that's the same thing that we just had. Now let's put a different hole. Let's put another hole in. So I'm going to go back up here to the hole. Let's make the hole, I don't know, what do you think, Dominic? Yeah, I agree. 0.75, which is 3/4. It's 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to make it 0.75 over here. And then I'm going to put this over in the center. Oh, we have to make it higher than an inch. So let's just make it 2. Because you don't really see the hole. So let's put it over here. And if you remember, we're going to try to make them all align. So I'm going to click and drag, and that way it highlights both items. Go up here. I'm going to align. Let's just center it again. Just see if you guys can get the hang of that. Once it's centered, you can see the dots are gray. I'm going to group it, and then we have almost like a volcano looking deal. Okay. Next thing we're going to do. And I think you may have done this before. So let's do this. I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to pull another box out. Okay. This time we are going to make the height. Let's make the height 0.125, which is 1/8 of an inch. So it's 1/8 of an inch thick. So we are going to make it 4 inches long. I'm going to pull it over and put it center, and then I'm going to click on the squares again. Let's make it 2 inches wide, and slide it so it sits on the grid, nice and easy. Let's take one of these toruses, and we're just going to slide it out here, and I'm going to get a side view and see how high the torus is. We want it to be the same size as the grid. So I'm going to go back up here to the corner, and so I'm going to click on that, and the height. See, it's twice as big. So we're going to make it 0.125. Enter it in. I don't know if it's big enough or not. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 1.25, 1 1/4. Okay, 1.25. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the top view. And you see how it's hanging on there a little bit? We want it like that. So I'm gonna let's align them up first. So we'll put it right here. We don't want it to go down inside. We want it right where it's at, and then we're going to group them together. And now it's all one piece. Okay, it's sort of like a keychain. That's what I'm getting at. We're going to make it like a sort of like a keychain. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go down, and then you can get text over here too, but we're just going to stay here in the basic shape, and we're going to pull the text out. And you can see how it's twisted the wrong way. We can take this. See how if you click on it, let me see how to make sure I get this right. Okay, so let's turn it 90 degrees. So I clicked on that shape, and it twisted it right around. See? So now it's sort of inside of there. So I'm going to click on the text again. Okay, now see where it says text up here? You're going to put your name. And I'm just going to put Mr. C. And it's kind of big, so I'm going to have to make it smaller so it fits. So I'm going to make it 3.5 to make my name fit. Okay, and I think the size is okay. Now I'm going to go back over to the side view. And see, I don't want it sticking up that high. I just want it sticking up just a little bit. And so the base of it was, the height was 1.25, no, 0.125. And so this is a 1/2 inch. So let's make this 0.25, and that's going to shrink it down some. And now, I moved it. Now I'm going to group it. I guess we could try to align it like this way so it's perfectly in there. Then we group it, and now I have a keychain. Now I can print that if I want to. I want to make sure everything looks good. It looks like it looks pretty level. Okay, so that is your first assignment. Make sure if you don't forget, what I'm looking for is that you can change the grid to inches. You rename your project, and then you're gonna make these tree shapes following the dimensions that I gave you. Okay, good luck.